Hello, everyone. This is Doug Nelson, the president of PNMT Midwest, Precision Neuromuscular Therapy. And the topic I'd like to explore today, just for a few minutes, is this idea of us limiting the enrollment in the seminars that we produce. This is actually a question that comes up that I always find a little bit interesting when people are asking this. But you realize if they're asking this question, it's because this is an issue that they've struggled with in the past. And that comes to the question of how many participants will there be in the seminar if I choose to participate. And I think I'm correct in the origin of this is that many people have been to seminars where there are 40, 50, 60 people in the seminar. It's really difficult to walk away with something really useful or to feel like you had enough hands-on time with the instructor when the seminar is really large. And I get it. I've been in those seminars, and we do occasionally do large seminars for different events that we have, like an AMJ chapter, that sort of thing. But in our traditional seminars that we produce, oftentimes we limit that to typically, like, the sweet spot is about 16 participants. And there's a reason for that. We think it's better for the students. It's also better for the instructor at the same time, because everybody feels like they're getting the kind of attention and the one-to-one focus that you need to really fully do this work well. Precision neuromuscular therapy is all about that kind of focus. It's all about highly precise palpation. For instance, if you look at this picture, if we're trying to help someone find the lesser tubercle of, and it's the subscapularis attachment, there's nothing like the look on someone's face when they have that, oh, you mean there, oh, I get it. That is such an exciting thing. And again, in all of these areas, it gets complex because there are so many different things that you have to pay attention to, things that you have to kind of take out of the system. There are things that are sort of noise in terms of palpation. Palpation is an amazing skill and one that we never fully master. And it takes somebody guiding you through that process in the same way that it would be hard for me as a new cello student to learn the cello if I was in a group of, 7 or 8 people. That's tougher than having the one-to-one instruction of my teacher who's guiding me through the process. There's no substitute for that kind of time. So for us, palpation is everything. And again, you have the student, the therapist has to feel that. It's important to know what you know in your head, but in the end, you have to know it in your hands. And again, that sweet spot of 14, 16, maybe 18 people is really where it's at. If we have more than that, then we really try to have an assistant with us who has been trained and has lots of experience. And, speaking of that, if you look at the instructor staff, look at the number of years that they've been practicing and the number of years that they've also been connected with myself, it's an impressive number as you go down through the list. They've been practicing for, in many cases, decades, and have been connected with me both through the seminars and as a student, and then teaching for, in many cases, almost all of that time. So they bring a wealth of that experience, but they also bring with them the clinical experience. If you want to study with someone, if you want to master something, study with somebody who's actually doing it. All of these instructor staff, all of my staff, they are experienced clinicians. They're seeing people every day in the clinic, and they bring that wealth of information. It's certainly, when you step away from that, you end up kind of having easy answers to very difficult questions. Each of these instructors know what it's like to struggle in the clinic. They know what it's like to fail. They know what it's like to keep progressing and moving on with a client. And I think that's communicated during the seminar. that you really get a sense for the reality of the clinical experience. And it's rich and it's wonderful. And there are no easy answers. It isn't like if you do this, it'll solve all pain, no demand, and create peace in the Middle East. It's just not like that. That's not real life. Real life is the process, is the struggle. And it takes a while for people to learn this work. It's not easy. We get that, but it draws to it people who are really committed, who love the field of massage therapy. And, I always tell my staff, it's just interesting. We really sort of draw the creme de la creme, because they're the ones who realize there are things that they don't know and that they want to be better at the work. And really good therapists want to be better. And really great therapists continually strive to be better. And that's generally who we get in the seminars. So that's another thing that I think you as a participant will appreciate, is being with a group of people who are fully committed to this work. And that's an exciting thing as well. So, yep, you have to have some lecture time. Here's a picture of Christopher Sovereign teaching. You need some context, but once we do that, then we go right to the table and apply it. So that balance of knowing why you're doing something, but then taking it right to the table and applying it is really, really important. So it's a process we go through. Sometimes you're just a little tired of the hands-on work and you need a little bit of break. And then there are times when it's like, oh, okay, my brain is full. Now I just need to go to the table and focus on the kinesthetic part of it as well. So it's really achieving that balance is a process, actually. And by the way, learning should be fun. I mean, it just should be fun. And I think there's a lot of laughter that happens in the seminars. People have a great time. And that's really part of the process too. It should be, it's time away from your clinic. It's time to celebrate being a therapist and being around people who love it just as much as you do and are just as passionate, and learning and growing together. And that's a rich and wonderful thing. So we hope to see you at a seminar. The website is NMT Midwest. And again, our whole thing is teaching therapists clinical reasoning and moving away from a recipe-driven approach. And it's that inspiring therapists truly to be an artist, not a technician. And that is it's where the science meets the artistry of the work. And I think you'll really appreciate the process. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. And thank you for the good work that you do. Hope to see you at a seminar soon. Thank you.